Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. It helps the videos out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here with some good news regarding Final Fantasy 16 sales. There has been some discourse over whether or not Final Fantasy 16 was a sales success, but we officially have an answer. This is reading from PlayStation Lifestyle. In a departure from the norm, Square Enix has officially responded to all the discourse surrounding Final Fantasy 16 sales. Quizzed about reports that the game hasn't performed all that well, Square Enix insisted that Final Fantasy 16 had an extremely strong start. In a statement to IGN, Square Enix said that Final Fantasy 16 has performed well considering the PS5's install base, echoing what many have pointed out in response to sales comparisons with past titles. Taking into consideration the sales figures of the acclaimed Final Fantasy VII Remake and the difference in size of the install base of the PlayStation 4 at the time of this title's release, we can see that the attach rate of Final Fantasy 16 is considerably high given the PS5 install base. This is what Square Enix said, adding that it considers Final Fantasy 16's initial results to be extremely strong. The company also said that it will continue to carry out a wide range of initiatives to encourage more people to play the game. Now, the article here closes out by basically saying that Square Enix has earned a reputation for openly expressing its disappointment with game sales, and this is something that is certainly true. Many people have pointed out over the years that Square just seems to never be happy with their sales, and they never have anything good to say about them, but in the case of Final Fantasy 16, they're doing quite the opposite, and it is genuinely surprising. I've maintained that if a game sold poorly, you likely wouldn't hear anything from most publishers. In the case of Square, they probably would have said that it was disappointing or didn't meet their expectations, but instead they say it's doing really well. It's extremely strong, as they put it here. So yeah, good news all around. We'll have to continue to see if we get any more updates from Square on Final Fantasy 16 and how it's doing. Moving on from that though, we have a rumor that claims we're going to see some serious price cuts across the board for the PlayStation 5. This is being reported by Push Square. They say select European countries like Spain and Portugal have recently been enjoying discounts of up to 100 euros on PS5 systems, but a new claim from PlayStation Plus leaker Billy Bilkin states that sale price will be expanded to other countries soon. While the leaker doesn't know when the promotion will begin, they posted the sort of discounts UK, USA, and Germany residents can look forward to. According to the leaker, the following PS5 sale prices will come into effect. So in the UK, you're looking at a discount of £75, where the PS5 was being sold for £480, and it will go down to £405. In the USA, you're looking at a price cut of $50. The PS5 will go from $500 to $450. And in Germany, you're looking at a price cut of 75 euros, where it was being sold for 550 euros, and it will go down to 475 euros. Now, this is definitely interesting timing because we've been talking a lot about this new revised PS5 model that has, been rumored very heavily, and there's even been some hints that Sony is getting ready to reveal this and announce this sometime soon. And we've also heard that Sony plans to, sell the remainder of the PS5 units that are on store shelves now and really kind of get them out, specifically the disc model. So the fact that they are just abruptly, discounting the PS5, specifically the disc model, it tells me that, yeah, this is something we're going to be learning about very soon. And obviously, it's a great time to go out and buy a PS5, Save money where you can. But moving on from that, we're talking all about Spider-Man. We have a lot of new information to go over regarding Spider-Man 2. The first thing I want to point out is how we are hearing from Insomniac's community manager that the new story trailer that we saw yesterday, for as good as Spider-Man 2 looked in that trailer, it's apparently going to look even better by launch. So if we head over to Twitter, a user highlighted some of the screenshots from the trailer, specifically highlighting Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and MJ. It's worth noting that MJ has a new look, and I think there's been a lot of positive response to this. I think people really like the new direction they went in with MJ here, and the person says they look so good. This is what prompted the community manager of Insomniac to quote tweet this and say, "And it'll be even better by launch." Now, I'm pretty sure the reason why he chose to do this is because in May, after the first gameplay reveal we saw of Spider-Man 2, there was more discourse than you would have expected in regards to how the game looked. A lot of people were saying it didn't look very good, or, didn't look good enough. And, Insomniac, they had to come out and make everybody aware that, look, that was an earlier build of the game. The game's going to look a lot better once it comes out. And even now, when you look at this new story trailer, you can see there are some serious improvements, and people are already noticing how much better it looks compared to even that gameplay we got just a couple of months ago. And we are still a couple months out from launch. So because of that, yeah, the game's going to look even better than what we've seen so far. But we also have another report here coming from WCCF Tech, and it says a new early Marvel Spider-Man 2 comparison video was shared online earlier today, putting the first story trailers for both entries in the series to highlight the visual differences between the two games. The comparison, which was put together by El Analista de Bits, shows how the second main entry in the series is a massive visual upgrade over its already great-looking predecessor in every possible way. From environment design to lighting, it looks like the next entry in the series will be way above its predecessor in all ways, although some may dislike some character design changes for the main cast. And so this article is going to be linked down below. You can go check out this comparison. It really does show you just how much of a leap forward Spider-Man 2 is compared to the first game. It's quite significant, and honestly, I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. It's Insomniac. They have continued to do great work. They have done some amazing things already this generation with the PS5, and, I had no doubt that they were going to continue to do that and do even more with Spider-Man 2. But with that being said, we have a major announcement for a Spider-Man 2 PS5 limited edition bundle. It turns out that Sony is finally going to start doing limited edition console designs and bundles. So this was announced during the San Diego Comic-Con panel and was shortly announced officially over on the PlayStation blog. There are a couple of different ways you can purchase some of these products. So they are going to have an entire console bundle. So you get the console, you get the plates, you get the DualSense. But if you want to buy the actual limited edition covers and the DualSense by themselves separately, you will be able to do that. Pre-orders for everything I just listed are going live on July 28th, and everything is going to release on September 1st, including the limited edition console. So there you go, the first limited edition PS5 being released by Sony. I'm curious to know what you guys think of it. Do you like the design? Do you dislike it? Is it something you're going to be picking up? Are you getting the covers, the DualSense, maybe the console, or maybe both the covers and the DualSense? Let me know down below. But before moving on to the next topic, I have a few other things coming from Insomniac Games regarding Spider-Man 2 I want to let you guys know about. First off, we are hearing about the story of the game. They say here on the PlayStation blog, at the beginning of our journey, our Spider-Men are at the top of their game, but both Peter Parker and Miles Morales are struggling with their personal lives. Miles is trying to find time to write his college entrance essay, but he keeps procrastinating and focusing on spider work instead. Meanwhile, Peter is underwater on payments for Aunt May's house, but he can't sell it. It means too much to him. And just like Miles, Peter tries and fails to find balance with so many responsibilities. MJ wants to help Pete with the mortgage, but her job is on the line now with J. Jonah Jameson. He's back at the Bugle and looking to clean house. Our heroes have arrived at a confluence of crossroads with uncertain futures and some tough decisions ahead. When Kraven's hunters arrive in the city, it sets off a mystery of why they are there and who and what they are hunting. But as the Spider-Man and MJ dig deeper into Kraven's motivations, the symbiote begins to threaten Marvel's New York and everyone and everything they hold dear. So There's Insomniac kind of, giving us a little bit more information about the story, setting it up. So yeah, Sony just came out and dropped a ton of new stuff for Spider-Man 2, and I have to say, I'm incredibly excited. I'm sure many of you are as well. I really think that this game is coming together and it's looking better and better every time we see it. So at this point, just leave your thoughts down below and let me know what you thought of the new story trailer, the limited edition console, and the look of the game in general. But we are moving on to the final topic, and this is a significant one because we are talking about the PS5 Pro. We have release date plans and details about this console. This is being reported by Insider Gaming. It says the PlayStation 5 Pro is aiming for a November 2024 release. According to a new report from Key2 Gaming, the PS5 Pro is codenamed Project Trinity and is already having demo events held to showcase the improvements. It's also stated that the majority of studios will receive dev kits by late November of this year. As far as specifications are concerned, those, according to the report, have been tough to obtain. However, two things that we do know that the PS5 Pro will feature are 18,000 MTS memory and 30 WGP, which stands for Work Group Processor. Performance targets for the PS5 Pro include improved frame rates as well as better FPS stability performance at 4K resolution, and an 8K performance mode and accelerated ray tracing. The last thing mentioned in the report is that the PS5 Pro is likely to be the last major hardware release from Sony for the current gen. After that, the focus is expected to shift to the development for the PlayStation 6, which I'm sure they're already well in the process of that right now. But yeah, a lot of information about the PS5 Pro. This thing is real. This thing is coming November of next year. And something I want to highlight here, I'm pretty confused about 30 WGP and what's being said here about the specifications. And looking around the internet, it seems like a lot of people are very confused about this, but some people have chimed in. And the one thing I feel like I can say that seems to make sense is that when it comes to the 30 WGP and the workgroup processor, essentially it sounds like Sony is going to have a GPU inside of the PS5 Pro that is 60 compute units. For those who are unaware, the PS5 as it stands now has 36 compute units. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be quite an upgrade there, and it sounds like the memory is getting a really big boost as well. When it comes to other aspects of the specs, we don't know. That's still unknown. But even more interesting than that is what the PS5 Pro is aiming to achieve. It says here it's looking to increase FPS, so I imagine it'll be easier to achieve 120 FPS in a lot of games. They talk about FPS stability performance at 4K resolution. This makes me wonder, is the PS5 Pro going to be a console where Sony can come out and say you can get fidelity mode quality in your games at 60 FPS? That, to me, would be the ideal version of a PS5 Pro and would certainly justify it. But they also mentioned an 8K performance mode. Now, this is where things might get a little bit gimmicky here for the PS5 Pro. This might be the big marketing surrounding the PS5 Pro that, basically talks about, hey, we can do like an upscaled 8K mode or something. I don't know. What I do know is that pretty much nobody has an actual 8K screen, so that'll be pretty useless, I think, for most people. But they also mentioned accelerated ray tracing. So yeah, a lot of new information regarding the PS5 Pro, and I'm not going to say too much on it. We'll talk more about it in upcoming streams, but this thing is real, and it's interesting to be kind of learning about it now and hearing what we can expect. I also just want to point out, it's pretty funny to me that the code name is Project Trinity, clearly a reference to the Matrix. We've seen Sony do this. The original PS4 Pro was codenamed Project Neo, and I think there was another device, I don't know if it was PSVR, it was codenamed Project Morpheus. So it's kind of funny to see that they're continuing with the Matrix there in that way. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Do me a favor, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.